Hi students, welcome to our next module which is about case studies. In this module we are going to talk about some interesting little complex projects that has been incorporated using Arduino and are operational in real world problems as well. So first of them is a fingerprint sensor based security system. So in this project, we are going to read the biometrics of a person in the form of his fingerprint values. We are going to maintain the record of all the persons who are allowed to go through that checkpoint. It's a door or entrance of any premises or anything. We will allow the entry if the biometrics are matched. This can also be used for taking attendance. And if some unauthorized access is made, then we can generate some warnings. We can display that the identified person is person X. So in this project, how do we work? We are going to use an optical fingerprint sensor. We are going to read the fingerprint values of every person and assign a unique ID. So if there are, let us say, 100 person in an organization, we are going to store their individual fingerprint IDs with a unique ID given. Every person, whenever they enter, they will be asked for a fingerprint scan. And if the value is matched with the stored values that we have in our database, then the access is granted or the attendance is recorded. We can optionally display the name on one LCD screen. So let us look at the project block diagram. It's fairly simple. First of all, we have a fingerprint sensor that is the core of this project. To process the data from the sensor, we need Arduino Uno, or you can use another Arduino board as well. Then we can have a servo motor which can open the door, an LCD which can display the name, or any other actuator which you feel is relevant for your application. So the most important component in this project and which is new to us is fingerprint sensor. Let us see what is this sensor and how to use that. So there are three types of sensors that are available in market: capacitive, ultrasonic and optical. All these three have their applications and used in projects all across the world. But optical one is very inexpensive, and that is the reason for hobby projects or starting projects it is used. It will capture the photo of your finger ridges, and then it use the algorithm which is built in the library. You don't have to write that. You don't have to write any algorithm for fingerprint matching. Okay, that thing is already stored in the library. So with those, it will match whether your fingerprint ridges are matching with the ones that we have in the dataset. So here are some parameters for this sensor. This sensor works from 3.8 to 7 volt power supply, and it needs 65 milliampere current for operation. This will work on a serial UART communication port, and the average search time is less than a second, which is not very fast but good enough. Every fingerprint sensor should have a security, so the optical one is having a highest security level of 5. This sensor is around 5 centimeter long and 2 centimeter in height and breadth. That means it can be used at many places, so it is not very bulky. How do we integrate the sensor in our project? That is very important. This sensor, when you take it, it is having 6 pins, but only 4 needs to be connected to our Arduino board. As you can see that ground and VCC, they are always to be connected whenever we have any sensor, because you need to give the signal conditioning. After that, the receiver of fingerprint sensor will go to the transmitter of Arduino, and the transmitter of fingerprint will go to receiver of Arduino. So that is fairly easy to understand that if I have module 1 and module 2 and they are communicating, the receiver of one should be connected to the transmitter of the second, right? Now, as we told that we have a library. So the library, we have to search in the library manager, and based on the company whichever you are purchasing, so it can be Adafruit, Async Telegram, CTBot, or there are more companies also which generates or produce these fingerprint sensors. You have to choose and select the library and install it. Once you are done with that, before you can start scanning, you have to do your fingerprint registration. So you will go to the file example, your company specific library, and then there will be an option of enrolling. So you click on the enroll, and then the serial monitor will open. It will start at 9600 baud per second, and then you can place your finger and your scan will be recorded. So now let us see, once we have the fingerprint recorded in our data set, we can use simple conditional statements to perform some specific actions. Okay, you can have actuators like a servo motor which can be triggered to open a door. You can have an LCD which can display the name of identified person, or which can display the warning that your fingerprint is not in our database or it is not properly read. So these are all the things that you can do in the project once you have the integration of fingerprint sensor completely done. This project is available as an open source project on the Arduino community, and you can access it from this link. It's very interesting and quite useful project. Nowadays, a lot of organizations are having attendance based on fingerprint sensors, or they are having a secured access to their premises using fingerprint based biometrics. This is very useful project in such scenarios. In the next case study, we are going to have another interesting project which is primarily designed using microcontrollers, and that is vending machine. Keep learning. Thank you.